Did you guys hear that the Chileanoids in Chile, they legalized the gay marriage? Isn't that great? The culmination of years and years of struggle by the LGBT community to finally win the most, around the world today. Ideally, marriage wouldn't exist, but, while it exists, the gays should be able to get married too. I just wanted to talk about that because it was actually, this law passed through both chambers of the Senate and the Congress in Chile. And I just wanted to talk about it because it passed under like a right-wing government, and a lot of right-wingers voted for it. And now like some people look at that and they're like, oh haha, we gave you gay marriage. We're on the right, we gave you gay marriage. We're not homophobic anymore. And the same thing happened in Australia, where like a right-wing government allowed a plebiscite on gay marriage to run. It passed overwhelmingly, and then they like graciously allowed gay marriage to pass into law. After that, like they graciously allowed democracy to function. They graciously gave you basic rights as if it was something that they had done for gay people. And I wanted to like bring that up because it's a very like erroneous and also stupid way of looking at politics where governments do things for people. That's not true. In so-called representative democracies, people force governments to do things for them. They force the government to do things. It's the complete other way around. The government does not do things for you. You pressure the government and you make them do things. And when you pressure the government to a sufficient extent that even like a conservative, right-wing, homophobic government feels like they should pass gay marriage, that is not an indication of them like being benevolent and defending your rights or whatever. It's an indication that the LGBT community and other people who have struggled for that right for gay people won so overwhelmingly that they forced the government into doing something that it would rather not do. Same thing happened in Australia. It's the same thing as saying like, the US government gave black people in the US civil rights. No, black people and some of their allies fought in the fucking streets for those. It was a process that took fucking more than a century, 200, 300 fucking years. Led to that moment. 300 years of struggle led to that moment. To reduce it to fucking, the government graciously just decided to give it to them is bullshit. Doesn't matter if the government is left, doesn't matter if the government is right, doesn't matter if the government is centrist, doesn't matter what. These things are they're never granted. There is far less capacity for like progress from below in liberal democracies than there is in a lot of other systems, but it is still there. Basically, anything that a government does that does not seem to be in the interest of the bourgeoisie or of its espoused ideology, etc., is always coerced from it in some way by actual, activism, struggle, etc., etc. And that's how you should think about these things. Liberal governments, authoritarian governments, any type of government, they are very often forced to do things that they don't want to do because otherwise things might get hairy, or because, others have done the work for them. Others have done the work to make these things more accepted societally and politically to the point where it becomes a safe bet for them to actually implement them. Never give governments credit for shit. I don't like the way that people talk about things like, even in China, people are like, oh, the Chinese government did this for you. They did that for you. No, they didn't. Don't talk about governments as if they graciously afford people rights and privileges and stuff. People speak about them like benevolent kings or something a lot of the time. Yeah, they respond. They fundamentally respond. If the vast majority of people didn't demand anything from them, they wouldn't get anything. And that's the fundamental thing to remember.